Baby, I go, although I go. Baby, I never see your type. My girl, I like your vibe. For your love in a good time. Baby, I go, although I go.
Today, I'm not going to bore you with dictionary definitions of who a narcissist is. Narcissist. I call them soul vampires. To me, a narcissist is somebody with no soul. The only thing bigger than their egos is that void inside them that they demand others to fill. In this video, I give you 5 ways to spot a narcissist. If you are interested, keep watching. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. It's your girl AJ. Thank you so much to my old subscribers. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the comments and the likes. Keep sharing my videos as usual. If you are new to this channel, listen, join the notification gang. Subscribe right now and tap the notification bell so you don't miss anything from your girl. Let's jump into it. For the purpose of this video, I will be referring to the narcissist as a he, because I'm a woman and I'm going to talk from a woman's perspective. I'm going to chip in a few experiences through the years of my experience with narcissists. It's not easy to spot a narcissist right off the bat, because narcissists are charmers, natural charmers. When you meet a narcissist, you cannot tell immediately that you've met one, because they are very charming and they have very impressive personality. So they put on this show of a romantic, caring, understanding individual, and that's where they draw you in. So there's the initial phase, which is the idealization phase, where the narcissist will love bomb you with attention, with admiration, with love, with romance, wine and dine you, and you end up thinking you've met your dream guy. But not for long. You see, the narcissist has this image that they create for themselves. They are all about image. They are very intentional about what people think about them. When you are emotionally at the place that the narcissist needs you to be, the marks falls off. Then you begin to see the narcissist for who he truly is. Number 1, there is a sense of superiority and entitlement. Oh, everything, the whole world revolves around the narcissist. They have this false sense of grandiose. They feel like they're the most important people in the entire universe. Everything is about them. Their opinions are always right. Their opinions are always the best. They are smarter than everyone else around them. They feel like they are all that in a bag of chips. You know, they feel like they are the bee's knees. One of the red flags that I think that's one of the earliest signs that I saw over the years, some narcissists that I encountered some years ago, that was the sense of superiority. He felt like he was the smartest person in the universe, you know. And I realized that every time maybe someone would give an opinion about something, they would shoot it down, like it was like, oh, that is stupid, or this person is stupid for saying this. Just because the other person's opinion differed from them, he would always shoot it down. And I remember I used to think that was a bit weird, but it's something that I ignored. And if you're dealing with somebody like that whose opinion is final, it's like they are the be it all and the know it all. And as the relationship progresses, you realize that they do the same thing to you. When the mask has finally fallen off, everything is about them. They know everything. Everything that you say will be wrong if it's contrary to their own opinion. Everything that you do, which is contrary to what they would have you doing, will be wrong. You cannot get it right in the eyes of the narcissist. And They also have this excessive need for admiration. Because of the false sense of grandeur, the narcissist will expect you to literally worship the ground that they step on. Like, they expect you to compliment them, everything they do. You need to acknowledge that they are, the man that they are here. It is about them. Number 2, the narcissist hates to be criticized or challenged. That is an injury to the ego of the narc. You cannot afford to have a different opinion or dare to challenge them in any way. Although they are masters when it comes to criticisms, believe me, they will find a heap load of things about you that to them are not right, but you dare not point out any error or flaw in them. I remember in my case, one time I think we were having a conversation via text message, and we were talking. I don't remember the exact topic we were talking about, but it was something of different opinions. I had a different opinion to his, and I remember him feeling very upset that I had a different opinion. So he was trying to literally force me to see things the way he did. And I remember saying something to the effect that if we cannot agree to disagree, if you think I'm going to be that girl who is going to say yes to everything you say, then you probably have the wrong girl. And I remember this particular statement became, it was an injury to the ego of the narcissist, because that particular statement was held over my head for years, and they were really, really angry that I had made that statement. So that is number one of the telltale signs of a classic narcissist. They always have this set of standards that they will hold you to. They will have all these rules and codes of behavior, if you may, that they expect you to live up to be wife material or to be worthy of them. But the gag is, they will not live up to those same standards when it comes to you. What am I talking about? Example, they expect honesty, but they will not give you honesty. They will lie through their teeth to you. But hey, don't you dare lie to me. They will expect loyalty, but they will not give you loyalty. Let me cheat on you, but don't you dare cheat on me. Catch the drift? That is a narcissist. I remember I always used to say, it used to baffle me, like, how does a person have all these standards, but they cannot live up to their own standards? Like, meet the requirements of your own requirements. How about that? That is an injury to the narc. They cannot afford for you to violate any of their rules, but they will violate all those rules on every level that you can think of. How dare you be upset that I made rules for you and I did not follow those same rules? They don't apply to me, but you have to adhere to these rules. In a nutshell, all I'm saying is they want you to be a poster child of obedience. You have to be a child of obedience when it comes to the narc. And immediately you start to rebel, that will be Armageddon. You will go through it. You don't want that for the narcissist. Number 3, lack of empathy. This is, I think, of all the traits of a narcissist, this is the scariest one to me. That any individual who cannot empathize with a fellow human being is not somebody that you should associate with. Run far away from such a person. Someone with no feelings, who cannot connect to you on an emotional level, somebody who does not know your pain, who will not understand your pain, who will shoot you down when you are down. Like, if you have dealt with a narcissist before, or you are still dealing, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Why do you think some men end up killing their wives and children? Why do you think some men end up putting acid on their partners? Yo, there is no empathy. He doesn't feel for you. He doesn't feel for you. So he doesn't mind hurting you. And that is a very scary trait when it comes to narcissists. They cannot feel your pain. Have you ever tried to logically explain how a narcissist's actions have hurt you to them? That is the most excruciating conversation you will ever have. Like trying to tell your partner that, oh, for instance, okay, so this thing that you did hurt my feelings. For instance, you lied to me, and because of that, I am upset with you. A typical narc will be like, well, that is your problem. If you're upset with me, that is on you. It has nothing to do with me. Isn't that crazy? Another example, maybe you catch them cheating on you. The typical narcissist will be like, how dare you get upset that I'm cheating on you? Like, it will not make sense to them. How dare you catch me? Why are you upset that I have disrespected you? Why are you upset that I have cheated on you? Like, it's on you. You're upset because you want to be upset. Do you catch the drift? It's probably difficult to understand if you have not encountered one before, but if you have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't know that you're dealing with one, well, this sounds familiar to you, doesn't it? There you have it. You're probably dealing with a narcissist. Number 4, the silent treatment. This is a big one. The narcissist, why am I never able to say that word? The narc believes in punishments. One of the all-time favorite punishments of the narcissist is silent treatment. And the funny thing is, it cuts across board. Do your research on narcissism. The silent treatment is a constant. It's like, I don't know if all these vampires meet somewhere. They have this annual meeting where they are giving the guidelines on how to behave. It's like they all behave the same way. It's scary. But the silent treatment is one of the worst punishments that anyone could give to you. Somebody might say, well, if you're ignoring me, you're not talking to me, that's fine. No, there's a difference. The thing about the narcissist is, it will not be like you've had an argument and everybody is mad, so he's not talking to you. That's easy to deal with. Or you know that you've done something wrong and your partner is giving you the silent treatment. That's easy. I can say, well, go and be mad, I don't care. That's easy. But the thing about narcissists is 9 times out of 10, you will not know what you've done. It is the slightest thing that you do that will cause the punishment. Let me give you an example. Maybe you decide to go out or to eat at a restaurant or something, and the narcissist decide that maybe we are going to have rice and stew. And then you get to the restaurant, something, you decide, okay, I've changed my mind, I'm going to have fish and chips or whatever. Everything will seem normal. The night will go well. Tomorrow will come, however, and they'll start giving you the silent treatment. You'll be like, what is going on? Genuinely, you will rack your brains. And they're always like, no, nothing is wrong, but you will feel it, that they are giving you the silent treatment. They will distance themselves. They'll give you a cold shoulder for weeks, even months, and you will be going crazy. Imagine somebody that you care about, somebody that you love, and you don't know what you've done, and suddenly they are giving you the cold shoulder. You will beg, you will cry, you will do. That's the punishment they're putting you through. It's like they thrive off your pain. When you squirm, they're drawing the blood. Like, it fills your soul with some type of happiness. And the more they see you miserable, trying to figure out what you've done, crying, begging, doing everything you can, you are pumping up the narcissist. You are feeding his ego. That's the supply he gets from you. That's what he lives for. And then one day they're going to tell you, okay, so you did this. How dare you did do this? And you'll be like, what? I remember those times I would always say, come on, but the punishment does not fit the crime. The punishment will never fit the crime. The slightest thing you do, you will be punished severely. You will pay through your nose for stepping on a toe, literally. And and the more I researched it, I realized that it cuts across, but it's a scary thing. I saw the silent. I was like, yes, this is it. So it's a thing. So if you're dealing with somebody like that and they're giving you for no reason at all, you probably are dealing with a narcissist. Number 5, lies and manipulation. Because of their need for control, they will lie through their teeth to keep you around. They have to. They will lie about different partners, and they will always be a third party in the relationship. That's because the narc is constantly recruiting new victims, because it's a control thing. They constantly need that supply, that energy, that pain to sustain them. The manipulation will be out of this world because they are master manipulators. You know, a lot of times in the relationship, you will feel like you're probably going crazy because there's something called gaslighting. Gaslighting is a narcissist's way of manipulating or twisting the truth to distort your reality. Example, maybe you go out to a party and they are flirting with another woman. So the night they act inappropriately and blah blah blah, whatnot. And then later on, when you come home or whatever time, you decide you're upset, and then you tell them, well, I don't like the way, why were you flirting with that woman? And flat out, it will be like the response will be something like, that's all in your head. I was not flirting with her. That's all in your head. That never happened. Maybe you saw them taking the other person's number. The narcissist will tell you, no, I never took the number. And you will be left here feeling like, did I just make this up? Did I really see it, or did I make it up? You will be confused because of the conviction with which the narc will tell you that you are crazy. And that is always the final of everything. They will tell you, listen, you are crazy. This is all in your head. I'm cheating. You've caught me, but you are still crazy for daring to catch me. You are still crazy for bringing this up to me. Just shut up and endure. I will end this video by saying that if you can identify in at least these 5 traits in anybody or somebody that you're dealing with. Narcissists are not just people that we date. They can be our parents, they can be our siblings, our co-workers, a boss. I just want you to know that there is no way to change a narcissist, especially if you're in a relationship with one. You cannot change a narc. It's a mental disorder. It's a defect in their brain. The sole purpose of the narc is to make you miserable. Your pain is what sustains a narcissist. You cannot please a narcissist. You cannot love the sickness out of their brain. You cannot. There's nothing you can possibly do. The only advice I can give to you if you're dealing with one is to dissociate. Just abandon the situation. That is the only way to get away from the narcissist. You cannot convince one to change. There's nothing you can do, basically. And be very careful when you're trying to get away from the narcissist, because they can end up being dangerous. They can end up, there's something called the narcissistic rage, which comes out at the latter stages when you found them out, when you call them out, that you know who they are, and then you unmask them. They go into a rage, and sometimes they can do the unthinkable. They are out to destroy you full time. This time they will not spare you, so be very careful. The best way to handle a narcissist is to go no contact, disappear, like vamoose. If you have no children with them, thank your stars and flee. Flee. Don't try to argue. You will not win. Don't try to tell them about themselves. You will not win. They are going on a smear campaign to defame you. I remember when, in my case, when I was trying to get away from the narcissist, it was horrible. It was an eyesore. They would even create fake accounts and come to my Instagram to post nasty things, insults. It was a disaster. Run for your life. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Post your comments down below. Don't forget to share and subscribe if you have not. Thank you for getting to the end of this video. Catch you in my next video. Love you. Bye.